Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, yeah, I'm here. We hit the live button, and away we go here on the Hump Day edition of the JP Peterson Show. We got a lot to get to today. You jokers are already in the comment section. I love you guys. I'm going to make an impassioned plea this morning for Stu Sternberg to sell the Rays today. Like today. We don't need to take a breath like today. So we'll get into that. The Bucs have signed Bryce Hall, a corner, or does that mean they're done looking for a corner? I don't think so, but we'll get into that. The Valspar's coming up tomorrow. They tee it up for reals. They'll be doing pro-ams and practice rounds today, so we'll get into that. We had a buzzer beater last night. We'll talk about that. We have baseball, real baseball going on. And yes, the CIA, our own CIA, killed JFK. Right where FanStream Sports Dallas is broadcasting from this morning with the great Tim Ham. Yes, that's where it happened. Our own CIA, confirmed now through the documents that have been put out after, 50 years of waiting, whatever it is
60.
now, 60 years of waiting. But now we know why they've been hiding the documents, because our own CIA killed JFK in Dallas, because that's where you hooligans hang out, in Dallas. Yeah. Proud of that? You proud of that?
Hey, I've always said it. November 22nd, 1963, the day JFK finally got it through his head. We didn't want him here in Texas.
Oh, my God. You can't say that.
Oh,
Can't say that.
Damn.
Our own, come to grips with that for a moment. For everybody, you conspiracy theorists always, where do we get it? Why do we have to come up with these conspiracy theories? Because you people are conspiring against us. That's why.
True. Because they're
true. Conspiracies don't mean it's not true. It means they're conspiracies. And even a young Johnny Peterson, I've always been fascinated with the JFK thing.
Yep,
Little Johnny Peterson taking his 2 hours of library time in middle school to go through every JFK book file that I could get my hands on. And I remember the first day, I think it's probably about 11 years old, and I'm reading the magic bullet theory. Came up.
Like, even as a child, that sounded ridiculous, right?
Yes. Put forth by the Warren Commission, the former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. The Warren Commission said to me, there was a bullet that went through the back of John F. Kennedy, ricocheted up and came out from a 6-story window going down, but somehow then it went through his back, then came up and went out his throat. Out his throat, went into the back of Governor Connolly, ricocheted, took a left when it went out, and then took another right in midair, and then came down through the wrist and shattered the radial bone of Governor Connolly. And then we found said bullet in pristine condition on the stretcher. That's what we're going with? That's what we're going to tell the nation? Really? Okay, then. And on it goes. So we're going to get into that a little bit later on in the show. Just
by the way, let me follow up my statement, my horrible joke that I make, and I make it every year, that JFK is grotesque. Probably my second favorite president ever.
Yeah. A lot of similarities to what Trump is doing.
Yes.
And firing a lot of the people in the CIA and dismantling the deep state. All of those things that have going on, whether you believe in it or not, JFK did the same exact thing. Get some history in you and go read about this. He fired Allen Dulles. He fired so many high-ranking officers that he knew were part of this military-industrial complex that Dwight D. Eisenhower warned us about in his farewell address. And it exists. It still exists today. It existed back then, and they killed the president over it. And they tried to kill this president over it as well. So,
yeah.
If you think that was a lone shooter in Pennsylvania, yeah, you're not. You don't actually know what's happening. But
and to clear things up,
and if you want to wait 70 years to figure that one out,
yeah,
good on you.
We don't have to wait. We don't have to wait that long. We have social media now. We don't have to wait that long. You know, if we had social media in 1963, that would have been found out. We'd already know everything that happened a long time ago.
Yeah, because not thousands, but the dozens of witnesses that were all interviewed and have been interviewed on tape that all say the shots came from the grassy knoll. You can clearly see Kennedy's head being blown off from the front to the back and to the left, back and to the left. That shot can't come from behind. I mean, they've tried to make
sense of that for years.
There's so many things that just don't add up in the Warren Commission, and we finally find out today that and there's so many things that add up to the conspiracy. It all follows, LBJ owning the Dallas police, owning the Dallas sheriff's office, being able to cover everything up, being able to strong arm the autopsy.
That's how they got the body out of Parkland before any autopsy was done.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's you can actually see the Zapruder film of his face being blown off, and there's a picture of JFK on a stretcher with his face intact.
That was not JFK.
Yes, they had editing back then as well. It's fascinating stuff, but when you sit here and you really think about that in America in 1963, and by the way, Robert F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all the assassinations.
Yep,
CIA.
all the same. Yep.
When you sit here and think about that, our own government killed a president, what are they not going to do? And so everybody will. We would never do that. Our country would never do that. We would never do. And that's the basis for most people denying loads of evidence in many different things that show your country does not love you. There are traitors running this country, and there have been, and they are not looking out for your best interest. Oh, that's a stupid conspiracy. They killed the president. And it's scary. It's why? Because people don't want to think about that. They just don't bother me with that. I want to go to my job. I want to make lots of money. I want to, be here with my kids. I want to send them. I get it. I totally get it. Who wants to think about this? Who wants to really think about it? You don't scare the hell out of you. But it is what it is. And if you don't stand up to it, all your freedoms will be gone. That's the thing. That's the rub. So
yeah,
anyway.
But make no mistake, that was not the first time our government had killed a president. James Garfield was assassinated by his own government. So this is not new.
I don't know much about that one, but it sounds right to me. And by the way, a lot of other presidents around the world
die by the hand of their own government. Yeah.
Well, or our CIA.
Or our CIA. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So let's before they take me out.
Better close my blinds here so they can't get a good shot.
I have a lawyer in the back, just so you know. We'll take him out too. Scott Jeeves brought me a present this morning.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Look at that relic. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a newspaper.
A newspaper?
It is a newspaper. Oh, the smell. Timmy, this is such nostalgia. It brings back this it brings back the feeling of opening the Hollywood Sun Tatler at my breakfast table when I was 7 and going right to the box scores to see how many hits Pete Rose had last night.
Oh, yeah. That's what we used to do.
Oh, my God. And write-ups of our Little League games, our high school games. Just little write-ups, but man, it meant the world, right? Like, South Broward.
Look, that was the only way you had of knowing.
Had 12 points last night against the Plantation Colonels.
Look, as a kid, that was the only way I had of knowing how my Texas Rangers did the night before on the West Coast.
Yes.
Because I had to go to sleep and I had to get up. The first thing I would do getting up in the summer is I would run and grab the sports section from my dad, who was at the table reading the paper, already drinking his whiskey, smoking his cigarette, and I'd run and I'd grab the sports section.
Yeah.
And I would flip to the box scores.
Yes.
And then I carried that through. The very first radio show I ever had in the early 90s was not a baseball show. It was an auto racing show. But you know what? We had a segment in that show called, Hey, let's look at box scores. And we would just go through the Texas Rangers box scores in the early 90s. It was so much fun.
Yeah. It was people like, oh, my God, you couldn't see the highlights? There's it's called a sports section.
Yeah, we didn't have Sports Center.
No.
I didn't. Not as a kid. Nobody did it when I was a kid. And, it's just that was how you either watch the local news, but by the time the local news was on at 10 o'clock Central Time, the game wasn't over yet because they're on the West Coast.
Right.
So you either get up super early to watch the local news who didn't cover sports at the time because nobody cared about the Rangers. You had to check the box score.
But sometimes, well, maybe in Central Time Zone you could do it, but on the Eastern Coast, if the Reds played the Dodgers in the NL West, my Reds were once in the NL West. Yeah. You didn't get the score because it was too late. The deadline was midnight, and a lot of times you couldn't find. So then you had to wait till the next day. You had to wait till the next day to get a score.
Yeah.
And
how crazy is that?
Oh, bananas. So, so this is actually the headline, which, of course, we read the article yesterday on the air. So this is why there's no newspapers anymore, because this is old news. And the entire article is old news anyway. There's nothing new in it about want to buy the Rays, get in the line, everything, all this, which is your headline of your newspaper that you print on Wednesday and a Sunday. You still print newspapers in Dallas every day?
Yeah, we get a daily Dallas Morning News. I only get it on Sunday. Because I don't have a fireplace. Can't use it as kindling anymore. Yeah.
You think they try to change the editorial slant of the paper so people would actually want to buy it and read it, but they never did that. So now they're just printing it twice a week. So, but there it is. So then now, unfortunately, in this story that we've been covering stem to stern and breaking news, we are not mentioned. Shocking development. Of course. Shocking development.
But I sent you an email. That we got across the website, I believe, and he's the guy that commented yesterday too. I think he was watching the show and he commented too.
Yeah, I'm going to read that email.
Yeah, please
later on today. It is really, really incredible. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have you read that email.
Okay, so it doesn't sound self-promoting.
Yeah, even though it is.
It is. That's okay.
So, all right. So I want to dive into this. And I know we've talked a lot about the Rays and blah, blah, blah. So guys, just bear with me here. A lot of you love it because every time we do this, Brody Brazil does 1,000 videos because he gets everybody watches. Everybody who's consuming this story. They're just absolutely, because it is the biggest, most crazy, ridiculous story that has ever been told in baseball in Tampa Bay in terms of money and professional sports and public expenditures. It's freaking humongous. And it's why we've spent so much time on it. But, so I was going back and forth with Chris Lafala this morning because he's got a couple trolls that he deals with on a daily basis. So they were asking him questions. And Chris basically says, depends on what the cheap owner who appears to have a cash problem is trying to do in terms of this new idea that was floated to restore the Trop, $600 million. He said, do I support giving him $400 million in public funds to get a 10-year lease to return at the Trop? No one wants to work with him. His word means nothing. #sell. And I tweeted back at him, thanks, Chris. Keep hammering the point home. Nobody in local politics or investors will work with Stu. He's burned every bridge. I've heard media folks say you can't force him to sell. Did you forget about Vince Namoli? He was forced to sell to Stu. Very similar situation, in my opinion. MLB needs to make this happen quickly. And I also asked Chris about the money being spent by the county and city over the last 3 years. I said, what is the estimate? And he says it's in the millions of dollars. It's in the millions of dollars. And I said, can you sue for that? Can you sue to get that back? He said, well, we know Stu's going to sue on the way out. That's for sure. He's going to try to sue the city and the county to get redevelopment rights. But I don't pretend to know the legalities of how these contracts are written. I would think that Stu had some really good lawyers when he wrote those documents and pulling out. I would think he thinks he's protected, but just in terms of what's right and what's ethical, think about this for a second. When we had the leader of the NAACP the other day saying that the end of this deal is traitorous, I believe is the word. I'm not sure if that's the word that they use, but basically saying that you promised us that you would make it right, the gas plant that you stole from us many years ago to build Tropicana Field. You said you would make it right. And the Rays did come out. And I remember talking about this on the show because Stu Sternberg stood at the mic and Brian Auld stood at the mic, and they said all these platitudes about the black community and how wonderful this is going to be for them. And this is part of the plan. And this is why this plan is so good, is we're doing the right thing here by the community, and look at us, and we're supporting the black community. Give us praise, give us all the praise that we deserve for giving this to you, and blah, 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 blah. Well, how's that sound now? I wish I had the tape of it. How do you think it would sound right now when they were given everything you could possibly be given, and you still wouldn't do the deal? I guess you don't care about the black community that much, do you? We gave you, as Chris Loeffel has pointed out many times, we gave you $1.2 billion, and it's actually more than that. The public cost would have been $2.4 billion. $2.4 billion to build your stadium, and you still couldn't get it done. And you still didn't have either the cash or the wherewithal to get it done. Just literally spitting in the face of the black community and everybody else. No, we're not going to do it. Well, we looked at our numbers, and, now I know we agreed to this and cost overruns, and you spent millions and millions and millions of dollars to do all your on lawyers and consultants and engineering and all this stuff. I know you spent money, but you know what? We're just not feeling it. I know we said we'd do it, but we're just not feeling it. And that, the county and the city should have baked in that agreement. If we get to this point and we do our bond and we do our work and you pull out, you owe us money. And they do. I mean, this is reprehensible behavior. And I think MLB and Rob Manfred, he understands it. And I don't think he doesn't want to come out at a press conference and blast Stu Sternberg, but he should. This is reprehensible behavior. I mean, you literally, and he did the same thing to the people in Hillsborough County. It's reprehensible that you would hold up development on both sides of the bay. I've said this many, many times, and I think people just like, oh, well, he doesn't want to build a stadium. Well, you know what? It's not that simple. And not only that, Matt Silverman goes on the radio and says, yeah, we're just going to take a deep breath. Well, just let everybody calm down and let the emotions settle. Screw you. We've been at this for how long? 15 years? And you have the audacity to say, we're going to pull out. And yeah, I know you spent those millions of dollars and we got everybody excited, but the numbers just don't work for us anymore. So we're not going to do it. What? Where is the outrage? It's not like you can just take your ball and go home and it doesn't affect anybody. It does affect a lot of people. The black community, for one. You made promises. You stood up there with all your platitudes. And now it's like, it might lose money. I don't want to do it. Really? Really? Where's the outrage? I think when you go on Twitter and yes, fans are pissed. There's no question about it. Where's the outrage from Major League Baseball? Chris Loeffel is the only one, although Mayor Welch was pretty decisive the other day when he said, yeah, I have no interest in working with these folks. And it's the same thing we've been saying for years and years and years. They don't tell the truth. They don't negotiate in good faith. And that's the reason why we don't have a stadium. Everybody wants to throw up their hands and point the finger. Of course, the Rays point the finger at everybody else. It's always been the Rays. It's always been them. It's not that hard. And to do what they just did again. And here we sit. We're still, let's take a deep breath. To hell. I mean, how arrogant is that? Let's take a deep breath and let the emotions calm down, and then we'll look for another. No, your time is up. You have monkeyed around and screwed around with both sides of the bay for way too long. You've jacked around every freaking mayor, going back to Bill Foster, Rick Baker, Rick Kreisman. You've jacked them around. How many millions of dollars has been spent trying to keep the Rays in St. Pete? And you just pick up your ball and go away like a child. You don't have the right to say, let's take a breath. And if you said it on this show, I'd go, no, Matt, sorry, we're not taking a breath. You need to sell the team. You guys have screwed around with this community for far too long. Montreal. What? I don't think, St. Pete cannot be a major league city. Oh, but now it is because they're going to give you $700 million up front. But that's not even enough. How much do we have to take? How much? Major League Baseball. You want this market? Great. We want to be in baseball. We want to do it right here. And there are three groups. And I know at least one of them, well, actually two of them, have $1.8 billion ready to pay the Rays to get the team. They're ready to go. They have the money. They have the wherewithal. They have the political connections. They have sites to build on. They're ready to go. Major League Baseball. And I know Manfred wants this, but how bad do you want it? And how bad do the people of Tampa Bay want it? Because if you want to get this done, there's got to be a lot more public pressure brought to bear on the Rays to get this done. We're not taking a breath. We have 4 years to figure it out. No, you don't. We're tired of it. The people in St. Petersburg want to redevelop the Trop. There's millions and billions of dollars at stake there to get it done and do right by the black community, by the way, that you just snubbed. And do it right this time. And Mayor Welch has come to the realization, as many of the people in St. Pete have, Chris Lotfull in Pinellas County, we don't need the Rays. And we're not going to bend over and just take it at your whim because you want another 4 years or some cockamamie idea of, let's put $600 million into the Trop. Jesus, we'll stay there for 10 more years. It was obsolete 20 years ago. We deserve better than this slop. Come on, Major League Baseball, make this happen now. There are owners waiting in the wing with Tampa roots who people will support and love because they have Tampa Bay's best interest in mind. If you want this market of Tampa Bay, which you do, MLB, we're ready to partner with you. We are ready to do it right this time with an owner with deep pockets who truly cares about the area, like Jeff Fennick, like the Glazers. We're done with this. Let's make it happen. What's the holdup? If it's Stu Sternberg, listen, Major League Baseball, you know what to do. You did it to Vince Namoli. You can do it to Stu Sternberg. If you want to get somebody out, you can get somebody out. And it's not like we're making him take, what it's actually worth, $1.25 billion. These ownership groups are willing to pay well over asking price, or I should say value price, well over that to get the team and build, because that's what it's worth on the Tampa side. It's not just one group, it's three groups and maybe more that look at this opportunity and say, hell yeah, we can make lots of money in Tampa Bay. That's one of the best growing markets in the world. And they got television ratings and people are interested in the Rays, and we can build an entertainment complex around it. Oh, hell yes, we can do this. The city can do it. The county can do it. How much good could it be for everybody in the region? Jobs, lots of jobs. And then the redevelopment of the Trop site, jobs, more jobs. All of this being held up by the Rays. We're so tired of this. Let's take a breath. Take a breath. Hell, the hell you are. Get the hell out of here. We're done. You've had your time. You've made your money. You've used us like an ATM. And now you want to continue to hold up development on both sides of the bay, costing millions and millions and millions of more when we finally get it done? Like, come on, Major League Baseball. You got the power to do this. I mean, you're going to spoil the market. I mean, people are now like, no, we're not paying $300 for opening day seats. Now that's saying that, the opening day's not sold out. Yeah, you're charging $300 for opening day seats. Bring it down to a reasonable number and it will sell out. But if you're going to continue to gouge the public, which is exactly what they're doing and we predicted, no, then and I'm sure Stu Sternberg want to say, see, we couldn't even sell out in Tampa. Well, yeah, you're charging $300 for an outfield seat. Jesus.
At a minor league stadium.
Yeah. I mean, it is just well past time. And we, as a market, we have rights. You know, we at some point, even the baseball fans of Tampa Bay are going to say, and I see this all the time actually on social media, you know what? Just get out of here. We don't even care anymore. Like, just leave baseball. You're spoiling this market, baseball. And let me just be honest with you. You don't have the stroke to do that right now. Major League Baseball is not in a good place. Yeah, they're making tons of money. I get it. But they're still trying to grab market share. You lost ESPN, which may in the end be better for you, but they still are now in the process of getting to expansion, redoing all their TV and streaming deals. I mean, this is a huge time. You don't need to be monkeying around with owners who are just interested in their own pocketbook, who are just going to, delay and try to drive the price up by telling Orlando they got a shot and all this silliness. We're going to give you, 30, 40% more than it's worth? That's not enough? For God's sakes. Let's bring some sanity to this. And every dollar that they overpay to Stu Sternberg is a dollar that this new group can't put into the team or the new entertainment complex. And that sucks too. So on the way out, you're going to gouge the new owners for 30, 40% more than it's worth. And that's money that they can't put back into payroll, which hurts the baseball team. Every chance you get, it's about you making money. It's not about the team, and it's not about Tampa Bay. Because that's exactly what you're doing now. You're holding us hostage. Everybody knows you got no outs. Like Chris Lafayette says, nobody wants to work with you on either side of the bay. You can't move the team because Major League Baseball won't allow you. You got no options left. But yet here you are still defying everybody, telling us it's not for sale, holding up development on both sides, millions and billions of dollars of economic activity that could be going on, doing right by the black community, all this stuff you continue to hold out. Well, it's time for everyone to put pressure on Stu and the Rays to sell. And that means Major League Baseball, that means the fans, that means media outlets, everybody. Sell the damn team. We're not taking a breath. Well, you don't have 4 years. And the arrogance of that statement is just unbelievable. We're done. You're done. Major League Baseball should be done with this. It's asinine. And this comes from the heart of what's best for Tampa Bay, not from me personally. I could care, I care because it's Tampa Bay. So I hope everyone will join me in putting as much political pressure like Chris Lafayette does every day. Mayor Welch, you should be tweeting every day. Everybody should be tweeting every day. Sell the damn team. Sell the damn team. And if it's not sold by opening day, show up with banners. Sell the damn team. And I'm sorry. I apologize to Kevin Cash and I apologize to the players, but this is not our fault. You take it up with your owner because we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to bring banners. We want to support the team. We just want to talk about baseball. But we're not able to do that because your owner refuses to sell the team and do what's right. And it's going to be a cloud hanging over this team until it's done. And that's not fair to the players. It's not fair to Kevin Cash. It's not fair to Eric Neander. And you think they like it? And you don't think they're in lockstep with what I'm saying? Yeah, they are. They're done with it too. I can assure you of that. So, Rob Manfred, get your ass back to America and make this happen. Make this happen now. These groups are willing. And listen, and I know these people, they're not going to dilly-dally for long. They've got better things to do in their lives. They've got companies to run. They don't need this. I'm going to tell you right now, the people that are trying to buy this team, they don't need the Rays. They're doing this out of civic pride. They're doing it because they want to make it right. Is there an opportunity, economic opportunity? Of course. But they're rich. They've got plenty of economic opportunity. They've got plenty of things they can do to make money that are probably a lot less risky than this. And I don't think these groups are not going to sit around forever. So Major League Baseball, there's an urgency here. And we need to get the stadium done. We don't need to play in Steinbrenner Stadium for another 5 years. The clock is ticking on that as well. Because this idea of repairing the Trop is utterly ridiculous. And then what are you going to do? Move to Disney? That's not a Major League Stadium either. Move to Atlanta? Move to Omaha? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Get it done now. Get it on the books. The Braves built that stadium in 2.5 years. 2.5 years. If you get it done within the next month or so, we could be playing in a new stadium in 3 years. Maybe 2.5. Who knows? So let's get it done. All right.
JP, after we take a quick break here, I've got a tweet from Chris Lotvilla that caught my attention yesterday that it made me giggle, and I'll put it up here on the screen. And something interesting, I have some visual aids here I want to show everybody on something we talked about yesterday, how great a stadium complex can be if you do it right.
Oh.
So we'll look at that too, but I know we got to take a break.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side. We're brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVESLawgroup.com. We got some new sponsors coming on that I'm really excited about. We got one coming on the show today. We got a new sports bar coming online. We got lots of good stuff happening here at the JP Peterson Show. All thanks to our good friend Scott Jeeves at the Jeeves Law Group, who we have this great studio here. So things are going great. We love him, love the law firm will take care of you, folks. If you get in an accident, this is where you need to be. These national firms will, they'll get you a settlement, no question about that. But if you want somebody to really dig into your case, it's the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVESLawgroup.com. They're local, they're trusted, and they get results. Go to the website, get your free case evaluation. Tell them JP sent you. Back in 3. Hurricane Helene put a hurting on Tampa Bay, and for many of you, the rebuild will be a long process. You must beware of unscrupulous contractors offering up quick fixes for incredible prices. It's a scam. So go with long-standing, reputable companies like Third Generation Plumbing and AC. My friend John Rodriguez has been serving Tampa Bay since 1995 with hundreds of 5-star reviews. If you need a new AC system or any home repairs from Helene, they will work with insurance companies to get you taken care of quickly, expertly installed, of course, and a 1-year maintenance plan and 10-year warranty included on all AC units. 0% financing for 60 months. Contact them at thirdgenerationplumbing.com or 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. So many of our Tampa Bay neighbors are finding out the hard way from Hurricane Helene that homeowners insurance does not cover flood damage. You must have flood insurance. It's a separate policy. Immediately call Italiano Insurance at 813-877-7799, and they will shop around to find the best policy before rates go up. Lock it in. Over 60% are underinsured in Florida, or you're not getting your discounts that you're entitled to. So do an insurance checkup at Italiano, and they could save you thousands of dollars. Italiano will make sure you're with a highly rated insurer, so there are no surprises in your time of need. Our hearts go out to all our neighbors devastated by Helene. These are the times we're proud to protect all the pieces of your life. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the Gold and Diamond Source. Hey, March Madness is on. Did I say March Madness? Match Madness is on at the Gold and Diamond Source. That's right. They're going to match
too.
a $1,000 gift card. They'll match now through March 23rd, online and in-store. You got free services like free sizing, free appraisal, free setting, largest selection of any men's jewelry and women's as well. So get your gift cards right now in Match Madness. You pay for $1,000, you get it matched. You get $2,000 in spending power. So you could give that to your lovely lady or spend it all yourself. But you get that match going on right now. So go get the gift cards. $1,000 match now through March 23rd. So first 2 rounds, you get $1,000. So
very nice.
Match Madness going on right now.
I need to find me a woman that I can buy some diamonds for. Instead of having like 5 that I don't want to buy diamonds for.
What happened to the lovely Asian bartender?
Well, we're not there yet. I'm not buying her diamonds.
It's been a week.
I know we probably should be done by now, actually.
Usually go faster than that. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to do with the Asian parts. Like I'm
the Asian part.
I've never been with an Asian before, so I don't know what to do.
It's the same thing. So I'm looking at the Rays opening day. So people are concerned about, opening day. Are we sold out yet? I mean, look at these prices. $312 for the Loge. $312, $312, $233 for behind section 110, about 20 rows up behind home plate. $233. You want to spend $177, and this is including fees. You can sit down the first baseline halfway up for $177. This is for a baseball game. A baseball game. I know it's opening day. It's premium, but a baseball game. $151 for the terrace seats. Right field terrace, $132. That's a standing room only. $130. That's the lowest price is $132. You can do Rays Rush for $126 for opening day. So if you want to take a family of 4, it's a car payment or a mortgage payment. If you want to take 2 people, you're looking at $400.
Good luck with
before
that.
You even get parking. I mean, is that what's Texas opening day selling for? What do the Rangers sell for?
Oh, $100.
$100 for the lowest price ticket?
Oh no, I could get a seat in the upper deck right now for $37.
No.
I mean, I couldn't because they're sold out. But if you tried, you could have at the time.
Yeah, reasonable prices.
Yeah,
so
$37. Yeah,
shocking development. So you want to put up,
and then for the next series that rolls through town. That's just for opening week, right? For the opening series, you wait a week and go see the stadium and go see the Rangers. I can get those same seats for about $18.
Yeah, there you go. That's what baseball tickets should be.
In our brand new stadium, by the way.
Yeah, it should be $20. And then you go and you spend beer money, and you're still going to pay for overpriced beers. That they make tons of money on all that stuff and the food and everything. Yeah. So, but of course we got to gouge people. Like that wasn't totally predictable.
So speaking of gouging people, I wanted to bring this tweet that I saw of Chris Lotvilla to attention. Cause I just recently, I've been following him for a while since we've been talking to him on the show here.
He's awesome.
But I recently just turned on notifications because I don't want to miss any tweets from Chris Lotvilla. I have notifications on. I have notifications on for 3 people in my Twitterverse, in my Xverse. Okay, Chris Lotvilla, Max Homa, and John Daly. Those are the only three people I have notifications turned on for. And I don't have Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter or any of that crap because I can find that out on my own. So Chris Lotvilla addressed a question about the Rays possibly moving to this gentleman. And he was responding to this. He said, Chris, what do we want to happen to the Rays? Stay in Pinellas, leave Pinellas. And, of course, Chris is Pinellas County Commissioner. He said, I voted for the bonds that Stu wanted. Since he is 0-4 in stadium deals in Tampa Bay, politicians will no longer work with him. Since owners MLB know he doesn't have the money, they may be pressuring him to sell. I look forward to working with the next owner. Hashtag Stu struck out.
And let me tell you,
dude, it is next level with him.
He knows exactly what gets under Stu's skin too.
It's great.
Yeah,
and through his through his X post, he refers to him as cheap Stu, as broke Stu, as the cheapskate Rays owner. I mean, it is next level, just trolling, man. It is great.
Oh, I was glad to cede my public enemy number one status to him. That's fine. He does a much better job than I do because he's an elected official. That matters a lot more. So yeah, it's unconscionable. And listen, and I hope to God, but I know it probably will happen. Every year, Mark Topkin will do a story about Stu Sternberg. Like, what's the song, the Springsteen song of the year? Last year it was Thunder Road.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which of course we pointed out the last line is, it's a town for losers and I'm pulling out of here to win.
Yeah. The irony.
If you don't think he didn't do that on purpose, you are nuts. You are nuts. So we slipped that into our face. And we don't need to be treating him like some type of royalty, like some type of owner, like, oh, where are you going to shop now? Where are your favorite restaurants and all that stuff? That's reserved for owners who have done well by the city and the county and the fans. The stories now need to be let's go, move on, please move on, go take your $1 billion, $1.5 billion profit and leave. Yeah. I don't want it to be, I don't like to be mean. I don't like to tell people, I don't like any of this drama, but at some point you got to make it uncomfortable for him to be here. If he doesn't want to leave and he's going to dig in and give us the finger like he's done for so long, well, then it's only right that I'm not talking about violence. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about public pressure. Bring signs, tweets, social media, fill it up, sell. And maybe Major League Baseball will get and I don't want to talk about boycotting because then that makes us look stupid. And I hate it because Stu makes all the money. I get it. And it's tough to, put your credit card down or pull out the money to buy a ticket and support him. I know it is, but we got to do it in order to, make the new owners know that Tampa's the place to be. We just got to hold our nose and do it. And, I would like to see Major League Baseball tell Stu, hey, knock it off with the price gouging, knock it off. And I listen, we expect to pay a little bit of a premium because it's a smaller stadium. I get all that, but it doesn't have to be triple the price. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Should we get to comments?
Yeah, I was going to throw these photos at you real quick because yesterday we were talking about the possibly building a baseball stadium in Tampa right next to Ray J, right on the spot where the sombrero was. It's still a big vacant lot. I know they use it for parking. And then that you brought up the Truman Sports Complex up in Kansas City, Kauffman Stadium, and of course Arrowhead Stadium right next to each other. So this is the current configuration of the two stadiums right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty much what Ray J and a new stadium would look like, same distance apart and everything. Well, we also talked about the original plans to put a roof that would slide back and forth between what we talked about in the Tampa area for those two stadiums potentially. They had the same plan originally for Kauffman Stadium and for Arrowhead back in the day. And here's a picture of what that looked like when they originally drew it up.
How cool is that? How cool is that?
And look, technologically in 1971, when both of those stadiums opened, I get it. That probably was a little out of reach. But nowadays, how easy would that be to do?
Seems like it. And that looks like some type of canvas roof or something. It's just shade. And it's not going to make it, totally climate controlled, but it doesn't need to be. Just shade it up and you're fine.
Isn't that cool though?
Block the rain, block the sun, and it's super cool. And if you go back to your previous one, you could see that the tracks were laid.
Yeah.
See on both sides, that's where the tracks were. And it just slide over. It doesn't seem like that would be some technological marvel these days. And again, you're killing two birds with one stone, because the Bucs need a roof or some type of renovation, and this whole deal could be part of all of it, right? With the Glazers throwing in, the county throwing in, the city throwing in, the state throwing in, because DeSantis would be all for it, as he has mentioned. And then you have the developers who are going to be all in and actually have the money to get it done. This is incredibly doable. And if done right, you're going to have the premier sporting complex in America. Because, you right now, can we compete with SoFi? First of all, nobody wants to do an event in LA. It's a trash state, a trash city. You have to put up with all their BS. And so you're competing with Dallas. Dallas wouldn't have something, because remember, you could, if you had a Super Bowl, a national championship game, and you had an entertainment district and the two stadiums were connected like that, you could sell out both stadiums and have, a video in one and then the real game in the other, and have, some mechanism where you could walk back and forth for standing room only. And I think it's just amazing what you could be able to, and then imagine what type of draw that would be from a tourism standpoint. Not just it would be a concert venue, an outdoor concert venue with the roof that you could move back and forth. It would be an entertainment venue. Yeah. It would be, both football and baseball. You would have, I'm sure you could configure it for soccer as well.
Sure.
To have major games with turf. So you would be able to bring so much more. And then of course you have the Tampa Bay area, which has the beaches in St. Pete, which any of our major events, we use that as, the Outback Bowl always has a beach day, or the ReliaQuest Bowl now always has a beach day. They always incorporate the beaches when the Super Bowl comes here. So we become the destination area for any major sporting event. We go right to the top for Super Bowls, national championship games, college football playoff games, bowl games, preseason games. Who knows? I mean, it's endless. And then it's a 24/7, 365 thing. It's not just eight football games or 9 football games.
Think about the conceptually the space between these two stadiums right here. That's a parking lot. Mm-hmm. Instead of that being a parking lot, what if that was an outdoor entertainment venue?
And you could even move them closer to connect the two, with like a superstructure of types. And that becomes, so if you have an outdoor entertainment district, well, guess what? When the rains come, we just slide the roof over it. We slide the roof right over it. I mean,
you do car shows, you could do whatever you wanted, concerts, whatever you wanted out there.
And it's always, WrestleMania I'm sure would come. I mean, imagine and think how many, because you would be able to sell tickets for both stadiums.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
think about a live JP Peterson show right there, selling out both stadiums.
I guarantee you, we will have a studio in that complex. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Right. It's my idea. God damn it! I want to be hanging from my drone tarp.
We just need 1,000 square feet. That's all we need.
Or less.
We have less now, but
or less. Yeah. So absolutely
that'd be great.
Yeah.
So for instance, like here in Dallas, I know I brag about this all the time. Here's our situation in Dallas. And by the way, they just announced the Arlington Grand Prix as part of the IndyCar schedule for next year. So this is actually the drawing of the track. But you can see we have 3 stadiums literally right there within throwing distance of each other. The old up top right's the old ballpark in Arlington, and below that's Globe Life Field now, the retractable roof Ranger Stadium, and then of course the Death Star as we refer to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, over there. 18.
Where's Texas Live?
Texas Live is see the Globe Life Field right there at the bottom right?
Yeah.
Just to the top of that. That's all Texas Live.
Oh, okay, that big indoor thing. Oh,
yep, and it extends across the street adjacent to the other stadium too. So that's got a walkway that goes across the highway there.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's Texas Live, and it's all right there. A
little water feature in there. Was that a little par 3? What was that?
No, it's just a park. Yeah, it's not a golf course. It's just a park.
Yeah.
And then
that
the lake.
Like a cool place to hang out,
dude. That's a great place to hang out, man. And that's what you guys should have. I want that for y'all so bad.
Yeah. I mean, we got people that are willing to build it and have the money. I mean, what are we doing? And we're just jagging around with this bullshit. I mean, it's just, it's that's why I wanted to bring this to an emotional boil today. Yeah. Purposefully. It's like, I'm done. We're all done. And then we act like there's no, and here's the thing. We act like there's no solution. We're just, no. Dudes are lining up. Even the Times, get in line. Get in line. They're lining up. So I'm going to take a breath. Let the emotions.
Take a breath, JP. Take a breath.
Just going to let the emotions calm and everybody, and then we'll go back to the city. No, Matt. They don't want to talk to you because everything that comes out of your mouth, not right.
It's ridiculous. Just don't get it.
It's crazy. It is crazy. Good morning to you, John Hill. Go hit the go live button. Well, Tim's here today. Rick says the CIA took him out this morning. I want my Twitter back. Kenneth McClary says, I think they were worried if he got in, he would be doing just what he promised he would do, make the JFK files open and cut their budget with Doge. At least that's my conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy. It's conspiracy theory.
It's just the truth.
100% what's happening. And now we got judges who want to say, no, we want the gang members back. You got to turn the flights around and bring the gangbangers back to America. Like, that's your political. And I actually saw the CBS News look into the camera and say, deporting these trendy agua. I don't know how to say that. Trendy and agua, whatever. These gang members, these MS-13, that's easier to say.
Yeah.
Like deporting them is like deporting the Irish back in the 1890s. Like legacy media, like really saying that. You people, like, who's believing that? Scott Rasnick says, I got tickets for a Pirates game and a KC game, $36, including service fee. Yeah, the other tickets are great. I mean, they're fine. It's opening day that everybody wants to make a big deal about, and we'll see. It'll be sold out. I guarantee you that. Bucs Basement says, maybe this is just me, but the Bucs haven't really done anything, in my opinion, to move the wheel. Just signed the same type players. Reddick was their big splash rehab project, which is depressing. Man, Bucs Basement.
Man, I disagree with that.
I do too.
I think Bryce Hall, if he stays healthy, is going to be a tremendous addition like he should have been last year.
Yeah, I think that's a good move for a corner. And, Hassan Reddick at $14 million is a steal. It's a steal, Bucs Basement. And how can you say that's not adding a player? Look, the team's got a great roster. Do you just want to go add players because they're big names and they splash? At what position? What position do you want? You want Trey Hendrickson? You want to pay a first and a third and $35 million a year instead of a 1 year, $14 million guy in Hassan Reddick? They're going to draft an edge rusher, probably in the first round. They still have the draft, which is cheaper players, much cheaper players, to address other needs. So, I mean, what are you doing? We're not just going to add players to add players. That's not what it's about. And continuity wins in this league. Continuity wins. You want to go sign T. Higgins for twice what you signed Chris Godwin for? You don't know how he's going to play in this offense. You don't know what kind of chemistry he's going to have with Chris Godwin. You have no idea. So I'm sorry. It's just not that. Not that.
Would you rather have Hassan Reddick for $14 million this year, or be stuck trying to pay Micah Parsons to come to Tampa Bay for $40 million a year?
No, I don't want to pay that. No. I do not want to pay that,
because that's probably what that's what they're working on, a $200 million 5-year deal with Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
And I hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, what do you have left to spend after that? Yeah.
So the Cowboys are going to have 3 guys making $135 million per year.
Yeah.
3 guys.
Just like the Bengals.
Dak, CD, and Micah.
Just like the Bengals. I don't see that as a winning formula in a salary cap league. I don't. I just don't. And history tells us that when you look at teams that have won the Super Bowl. It's you got to field an entire team, and you can't do that when you're spending that much money. And that's Bucs basement. I think that's where you want to go. Can't really do it. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Joe Citro's here from the City Commission. We're going to talk to him. He's telling me that it's going to be EBOR 2029 for the Rays. You got that right. So we're going to talk some more Rays with one of our local politicians after this quick break. We're brought to you by Italiano Insurance, folks, 813-877-7799. Let them shop all your insurance needs and save you hundreds and thousands of dollars. And make sure that you are fully insured, whether it's flood insurance, business insurance, homeowners insurance, auto insurance. They do it all. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Stay with us. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. Hey guys, February's birthstone is amethyst, a stunning purple gem that symbolizes peace, protection, tranquility, and sincerity. Celebrate her birthday or your 6th and 17th wedding anniversaries with an unforgettable amethyst gift. And of course, for over 40 years, the Golden Diamond Source has been Tampa Bay's most trusted name in fine jewelry. We only sell natural diamonds. If it's real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't get a fake. The Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program will help you learn about the 4 C's, what style, shape, and color works best for you and your unique style. Folks, it's the best customer service. They make it so easy for you, and they're not going to push you into something that you cannot afford. 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Also, you can turn your old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. With gold prices soaring, there's no better time to trade up. So get that old jewelry and bring it on in. You know where, the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Overton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent-rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here, brought to you by Third Generation Plumbing and AC, our good friend John Rodriguez. If you have any issues at all with your great service, which of course you won't, at Third Generation Plumbing, you can call him up. He'll take care of it. That's what you want to know, right? A local business that does everything right. That's why they've been in business since 1995. ThirdGenerationPlumbing.com. Reach them there. Tell them JP sent you. All right, we want to welcome in former City Councilman Joe Citro, who joins us today. Welcome, my friend. How are you?
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Get up close to that mic there. You can move it. There you go.
There it is, yeah.
Perfect. You know, Joe, as you just said to me in the break, you have your finger on the pulse of what's going on with this Rays situation. You've been around local politics forever, and I see you tweeting out all the time, EBOR 2029. So I've reported this, that there are groups, 2 groups that want to move it over here, and I think they have the wherewithal to do it. What are you hearing?
I'm hearing the same thing, that there are the two groups, but let's look at the group that has been invested the most time, and that's the Doyle Tripp group.
Yeah. The Doyle Tripp group?
Doyle Tripp group.
Who's Tripp?
Tripp is a well-known businessman who was invested time with Doyle to get the Rays here, try and get the Rays here back in 2018, 2016?
Yeah.
So I think they're the best situated. They have been looking at this long enough. They've wanted to bring it to Tampa since I said 2016.
So what, in terms of how far along do you think they are? Have they gotten in the data room? What are you hearing as far as how have they talked to Stu? I know Doyle, there were reports that he offered 1.86 and was rebuffed last year. So where is it at now, do you think?
When you don't hear anything, that's when things are happening.
That's good. Yeah.
That's when things are happening. Right now, MLB is steering the ship. And I don't believe that MLB is going to want Tampa Bay to leave. I mean, Rays to leave Tampa Bay area.
No.
Number one, we are 10th largest television viewership, and that's a good way for MLB to make their money.
Yeah.
If they go to Charlotte, they go to
Nashville. Yeah.
We're looking at 40th, 60th in TV rankings. MLB wants them to stay here.
And the 15th largest market is right down the road in Orlando.
Yes, it is.
So moving closer to that market might be a good idea.
Well, when you look at drawing a diameter or a circle around your stadium within 25 miles over in St. Pete, the majority of it is water.
Yeah, the fish don't buy tickets, do they?
No. When you draw that circle around Ybor City or City of Tampa, then you're looking at bringing in Wesley Champo. You're bringing in Plant City. You're bringing in Lakeland. You're going to have Brightline. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's going to be easy for Orlando people to get here. You're looking at also the two largest areas that are growing in Central Florida, Pasco and Polk County.
Polk County, yeah.
So the attraction is going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's no question that the population is there and the market wants it. The holdup is the owner in St. Pete. And I made an impassioned plea in the beginning of the show, Joe, that I know Matt Silverman went on the air with 620 the other day and said, we just want to take a breath. We got 4 years to figure it out. And I'm like, no, you don't. You've had your time. You're holding up you can speak to this in terms of development. Billions of dollars of development in Tampa, billions of dollars of development in St. Petersburg, the Trop site. The Rays are holding this all up. You're talking about tens of thousands of great jobs that would be what you do for a living as a councilman, economic stimulation, all this, all being held up by one guy. We have businessmen that and I know that would be universally lauded in this area and beloved and would have the public support, unlike this current owner, to get this deal done. And we were just showing renderings of building a baseball stadium next to Ray J, putting a sliding roof over it. It would be the biggest entertainment complex and stadium complex in the world. I mean, that's all doable right now and right here. And one guy is holding it up. I mean, this is not a situation of like, all right, we'll wait 4 years, we'll take a breath. No, their time is done, and the public pressure needs to be put on them to sell the damn team.
Let's look at the big picture.
Yeah,
the big picture is that stadium is going to have to be built, and it's going to take 3 to 4 years in which to do it.
The Braves did it in 2.5, but I get it.
Let's take into account hurricanes and other things that might happen.
No, let's not talk about hurricanes. Okay, we'll give you 3.5 years. Okay. All right.
Let's talk about that. The project over in St. Petersburg, that's in the CRA.
Yeah.
Professional sports do not pay taxes. So you're not going to get any redevelopment money coming from that stadium. It would be more advantageous for the city of St. Petersburg to build a convention center.
Absolutely.
That way they can get CRA dollars to help better that development area.
I agree.
In the area in which I am hearing that the stadium would be built over there south of Adamo Drive, south of Leroy Selman, and west of 19, where the old shipyards that are moving down to South.
So you think Ybor Harbor?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I love that spot.
That's not in a CRA. But it could still be made into a community development area.
Yeah.
Or it could be done in other ways, building up the area around it for hotels, restaurants, retail. And that type of development is what's needed south of Adamo Drive, south of Leroy Selman in the area. It's not in the CRA.
Okay, so let's talk about that. This would be a community development district.
It could be.
Yeah. So now, how does that?
Or an opportunity.
So talk about the public money, how that would work. Now, it's my information that these groups coming in want to own a big chunk of it, so they want to put in 2/3, at least 2/3, half. So it's not as much public money as would have been needed over in that boondoggle they were going to do in St. Pete.
And that's exactly what I'm hearing now. That the groups are saying we're going to put in 2/3 for the stadium, which leaves 1/3. Again, you can get the 14 hotels that are down in Ybor City and Channelside downtown with their funds. You've got the Visit Tampa Bay and their funds. It can be done without a new tax. You've got the CIT tax, which has just come back.
Right. That works.
Things are working. Hillsborough County's got a good chunk of change too, and they're involved not just only the city of Tampa.
Right.
So it would have to be a group effort, but it can be done. Still have to bond out the money.
Right.
But with no new taxes.
So, Joe, you were part of the city council, and you were I think you were on the council when the 2018 Ybor deal was on the table with the Rays. So what I remember, Bob Buckhorn was kind of, the mayor at the time, was kind of lukewarm about it. He wasn't really all in. He wasn't a cheerleader like Ken Hagan was. And I don't even know if the city had even put in any money for that deal. I think I remember they did not. And so I was like, why is the city not getting more involved in this? Why is it just on the county? And would the city, in this situation with the group that we know, and we know some of these names, would they step up and give some money and help out?
With organizations that are in the city of Tampa and Hillsborough County that are sports oriented, Hillsborough County would have a bigger say in it.
Yeah.
So they've got more of a voice.
If it's going to be Ybor city limits, though, right?
Yes.
So we need the city to be.
Yes, we do need the city. However, city of Tampa and Hillsborough County still have a bad taste in their mouth from 1995 when we had to work out a new deal with the Raymond James Stadium and build a new stadium. A sweetheart deal like that is never going to be made again.
Yeah.
And if it is, it would be sheer stupidity.
Well, that's true. I agree with that. It was a sweetheart deal, but it was the best money you ever spent. It was $200 million to build Raymond James Stadium.
Look,
and we've had, 5 Super Bowls? The Bucs stayed here. The USF plays there, the concerts, everything. I agree with you. It was a sweetheart deal, but it was the best $200 million we ever spent.
And to your point, we've got a $2 billion asset in Raymond James Stadium.
Right.
Not that I want to see the Bucs go. Don't take me at that. But the Bucs go, we can have more concerts.
Oh, stop. The Bucs aren't leaving. No, we're not doing that.
But what I'm saying.
Are you negotiating against the Glazers right now? Get out of here.
We're not doing that. If the Bucs, I don't want the Bucs to go anywhere.
Of course.
If they were to go, that would open up the whole schedule.
Well, we'll shoehorn in their 9 home games, okay, and playoffs. We'll figure that out. But the entertainment complex, I mean, if they did it at Ray J, if they build at Ray J, is that county land?
That's city of Tampa County land, yes.
Okay.
It's citizen owned.
Citizen owned. So would the new team have to pay for that? It would probably be worked into the deal.
But it would still be under the purview of Tampa Sports Authority.
Right. Yeah. So the people at the TSA, what are they saying about the Rays?
They're very tight-lipped.
Yes, they are. I can't get them to tell me anything.
And I don't blame them.
Of course.
No, at this point, until the owners sell the Rays, nothing's going to be done. Because for the last, 6 years?
Yeah.
They've been
jerking everybody around.
I wasn't going to say it that way, but they haven't committed to anybody.
Yeah.
And St. Petersburg, God love them, they should have had a plan B in. And that plan B would have been build a convention center there. If they back out, boom. Okay.
Well, Kreisman had that all figured out. But then Mayor Welch came in and kind of gave up everything to get the Rays. And I warned him from the very beginning, don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to make the same mistake.
Rays are both very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And
and I know Mayor Kreisman doesn't like to be public about the Rays and I should say he didn't want to get involved with what Ken was doing out of respect. It's like, he's the mayor now, let him do what he was, but he probably warned him like everybody else. Everybody who's dealt with the Rays has said the same thing, right?
Yeah. Again, that's the linchpin. They have to sell.
Yeah.
Before anybody's going to take them seriously.
So which particular group, or do you think it's the Doyle Trip group? Do you know anybody else who's involved with that group?
Oh, you got some of the DeBartolo.
Yeah. Do you think DeBartolo's in that group as well?
DeBartolo wants to keep it over St. Pete, and that's going to be a tough road.
Yeah.
To hoe.
Major League Baseball doesn't want that.
Again, you draw that 25-mile radius.
Major League Baseball is not. I've told the Major League Baseball is not going to let them make the same mistake they made in the first place.
We've got opportunities for land here.
Yeah.
West Shore Mall has been talked about.
Yeah, it's too crowded over there.
It is too crowded. The neighborhood went crazy.
Yeah, they won't.
It was rezoned for a midtown type project.
Yeah, that's not gonna.
That's not gonna work. The old dog track at Bird and 275. Good location. The area is prime for redevelopment.
Yeah.
You've also got fairgrounds, but that's state-owned land.
Yeah. Well, the governor is aware of what's going on. You know that, right?
I understand.
Yeah.
But let's not talk about a different entity. Let's talk about Seminoles.
Yeah. So would they get involved if it was at the fairgrounds? I would think that would be a natural.
They might.
Yeah.
They might, but I would think that the state-owned land might be a conflict of interest.
We can just make it extend the reservation, right? Just give it whatever. Well, I think they can figure that part out. Why would the state not want to have a huge entertainment complex and a baseball stadium there?
The governor has already made it clear. He does not want the Rays to leave this state.
Yeah, exactly. Or Tampa Bay. Yeah.
Regardless of where it's at, Tampa is the prime location, in my opinion, for the Rays to go to, come to. We have the fan base here, and we will draw more fans from Pasco and Polk County, which, again, is the largest growing area in Central Florida.
All right. Yeah, I agree. It all makes sense. The bottom line is we got to get Stu to sell, and hopefully there'll be enough public pressure put on him. And you're telling me exactly what I've told and reported on this show months ago. This group's got money. They got money. They got deep pockets, and they want to do it. And I said this earlier as well, and I want to get your thoughts on this because you know these guys. They're not going to be here. They're not going to dilly-dally forever on this deal. They've got lives. They've got businesses to run. They can make money in other ways. They're doing this because they believe in Tampa Bay. They're doing it because they can make money. It's a great project. But I think there's some altruism here of keeping the Rays in Tampa Bay. And if Stu wants to take a breath and take 3 years to get a deal done, these guys are moving on. And I think that's bad for baseball. I think it's bad for Tampa Bay. So my point is this needs to get done soon. Do you think it will get done soon?
I can only cross my fingers and hope.
Yeah.
It needs to get done soon. Again, you have that time in which the stadium needs to be built.
Right.
Steinbrenner Field is only leased for 1 year.
Yeah.
We need to figure out what's going on.
Are you sure about that? Because I've heard it's Sue. I've had people very close to the situation tell me that they're also prepared to at least start the 26th season there. Yeah.
I know 1 year for sure.
You going to opening day?
I'd like to.
Anybody
have you seen ticket prices?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Let's just look at that 3-hour commercial. Every game for the city of Tampa.
It's huge.
You've got a wonderful ballpark down in Ybor City that shows the cruise ships, shows our wonderful skyline.
Oh, yes.
You've got trolleys, streetcars that will take you from any parking garage, whether it be in Ybor City or downtown. It will remind me of my two favorite stadiums.
Which ones?
Fenway and Wrigley Field.
Oh, yeah. Those are two real baseball stadiums.
Those are stadiums. You go to Chicago, Wrigley Field, and you got to have a burger over at Cubby Bear.
Absolutely.
Why can't we?
And a Goose Island and a hot dog.
My God. Columbia or at Ybor City, take the streetcar right to the front door of the stadium.
Yeah. Go to JP's Craft Beer.
There you go.
Pub right there in center field. Joe, thanks for jumping in, man. I appreciate you.
It.
And I know you feel the optimism like I do.
I do. The Rays need to stay in.
And they will.
We've got people that are willing to buy the team and put in money for the stadium. We got a perfect location. Again, Major League Baseball is steering this ship. Let's see if Sternberg's willing to sell.
Get it done. Get it done, Rob Manfred. Let's get this done.
Let's do it.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it, man. All right, we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, another surprise guest on lock. Dan Lucas is going to join us. We have some breaking news from the United Soccer League based here in Tampa Bay as well. So stay with us. Hurricane Helene put a hurting on Tampa Bay, and for many of you, the rebuild will be a long process. You must beware of unscrupulous contractors offering up quick fixes for incredible prices. It's a scam. So go with long-standing, reputable companies like Third Generation Plumbing and AC. My friend John Rodriguez has been serving Tampa Bay since 1995 with hundreds of 5-star reviews. If you need a new AC system or any home repairs from Helene, they will work with insurance companies to get you taken care of quickly, expertly installed, of course, and a 1-year maintenance plan and 10-year warranty included on all AC units. 0% financing for 60 months. Contact them at thirdgenerationplumbing.com or 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. So many of our Tampa Bay neighbors are finding out the hard way from Hurricane Helene that homeowners insurance does not cover flood damage. You must have flood insurance. It's a separate policy. Immediately call Italiano Insurance at 813-877-7799, and they will shop around to find the best policy before rates go up. Lock it in. Over 60% are underinsured in Florida, or you're not getting your discounts that you're entitled to. So do an insurance checkup at Italiano, and they could save you thousands of dollars. Italiano will make sure you're with a highly rated insurer, so there are no surprises in your time of need. Our hearts go out to all our neighbors devastated by Helene. These are the times we're proud to protect all the pieces of your life. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this Wednesday. Thanks for Joe Citro dropping by. Boy, when you hear all those visions of ballparks dancing in my head, it's like Christmas. If only.
So many ballparks.
I know. All right, we're going to switch gears here and talk a little soccer. So Tim's going to take a nap. As we bring in our anti-soccer guy, we got to bring in our pro-soccer guy.
Good night.
The great Dan Lucas, formerly of News Channel 8.
This is going to drive Tim crazy.
Dan, I live literally right across the street from the World Soccer Hall of Fame.
No, that's perfect. See,
and I've never even been inside the stadium where our great FC Dallas play.
There you go. Out there in Old Frisco, right? Yeah, absolutely. Great bars out there too, by the way.
Great.
Yeah.
For those who partake.
That's why I rarely remember doing these shows in the mornings.
Exactly. See, all our friends, trying to think of the one place I remember there. The bartenders, very talented.
All of them, very talented.
Yes.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yes, exactly.
I've pretty much gone through all of them in my dating pool. So
right. Exactly.
I'll have a double. I'll have both of those.
Golly.
All right, so Mr. USL, look at you now. Look at
You
you
like
now.
it? Yeah. Last time I was on the show, I was literally in boxers, unshaven. And it was
newly
great.
unemployed look is what we like to call that.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, it was everything I thought it could be. It was fantastic. But alas, in the end,
had to get a job. Oh, damn it.
I'm like, I wake up one day and I'm like, these bills aren't going away, man. So let's just find some work. Yeah, exactly.
So you're over at United Soccer League, and you guys are doing big things, right?
This is a fun time to be here. First, soccer is it's my sport. It's been my sport my entire life. Played it and watch it all the time. Fan of teams in England and Europe, and obviously grew up a Rowdies kid, the '70s and '80s. So it has always been a part of my life. As you know, my son plays. He's playing in college. So this is really great because I am here in a role that allows me to really work with not only the entire top league, but all the leagues here. And there's 4 or 5 of them all the way down to the amateur ranks under the flag of USL, telling stories and letting you getting to meet new people. And we're going to start getting that content up pretty soon. So it's like kind of the best of both worlds. And they're letting me do my thing, man. I don't have somebody standing over me telling me, we need you live at 4:10, 4:18, 5:06.
Exact thing over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. And why haven't you done this? How come you didn't do this? Well, because I was doing 14 live shots, standing on the street corner. Well, we need you to do this.
So you miss your news director and those news meetings in the morning.
Exactly.
So do you have an official title with the USL? Because JP didn't prep me for this. I have no idea what you're doing. So
director of multimedia, which I learned is one word. Director of multimedia. Yeah. One word, multimedia. I thought I was just a hyphen.
Oh, I thought you said director of multimedia was one word. #, director of multimedia.
We can make it one. I mean, but multimedia.
So you MMJ?
Yeah.
Are you an MMJ?
I'm going to do a little bit of everything. We have a really talented group of people here that shoot, edit, host, different programs and shows that are mostly web based. So my job is to get the league kind of going in the local TV markets, where the teams are, and just tell stories that haven't been told here. It's incredible, the people they have in this league, and players, in management, ownership, where the league wants to go, which is a hot topic today around here. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so there was an article in The Athletic today about the new relegation system for USL. It's just got all the soccer people all a Twitter, so to speak. Tell me about that and the growth of the league and what's going on right now.
Well, it has the soccer people all in a tizzy, good and bad reactions, because first it seems like it's an attack on MLS, which it's not. But what USL is doing is it will have a Division I league here. The goal is to get it up by 2028, which is basically the equivalent of MLS. And then you'll have the top league that exists now, the championship, where the Rowdies play. And then below that, League One. So there's going to be a League One, a championship, and a D1. And promotion relegation, which was just announced officially today, is basically what's based in all other countries who have these big federations. I take England, for example. In the Premier League, whoever finishes, there's 20 teams. Whoever finishes 20, 19th, and 18th, the bottom 3 go down to the championship the following year. And then the top 2 teams or top 3 teams in the championship go up to the Premier League the following year. And the whole point is, in the Premier League, that's where the money is. That's where the TV contracts are. And you get, just a whole boatload of cash to get players. And in this plan here, the up and down movement is the same exact thing, except there will be, money involved to help teams who come up and to help teams who go down as well. But this is what fans in the United States a lot have asked for generations, because the business model in this country has always been buy your franchise, be in the league. If you're a bottom feeder year in and year out, and you're going, well, why can't we build a fan base? Well, because nobody gives a crap about your product. So when you have promotion relegation, it brings a lot more teams into the mix interest wise. You could have more viewership when you're on television, which, by the way, the USL is a really nice deal with CBS. The women's league, the Super League, is on Peacock. So there are eyeballs on the league, and this will hopefully generate some more interest for all the markets, which, by the way, in the championship, we have 24 teams. Then you come down to League One. You're looking at almost 40 markets.
Wow.
Some are just really small communities. Naples, for instance, has a team in League One this year, FC Naples. So that's what you're working with
Oh,
here.
that's
Richmond,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
Richmond, Virginia, in League One with an old historic franchise, the Richmond Kickers, and then in the championship, which right now is the top league here in USL, you've got some big markets on down to smaller communities. You have markets. I'll just give you the NFL markets. Tampa Bay.
Right.
We all know the Rowdies. Miami has a team in USL Championship as well. Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, Las Vegas. There's a team in Rhode Island. There's technically they're in their third season, so that technically counts as New England. But yeah, so it's finding its place in these markets and building its fan base. And the fan bases are. It's kind of like some formats, different formats of music. It may not be the biggest,
Right.
but it's the most loyal. So you're starting at that's your starting point, and hoping to build from there.
So we've been talking about the Rays sale for the entire show. Well, actually, for 35 years now. In the stadium.
And by the way, I don't have to follow it.
I know you don't have to follow it anymore. You lucky dog.
So let me know when the first pitch in the new ballpark is, man. I'm there. I'm there.
But the Rowdies are involved in this because if the Rays get sold, then I'm guessing the Rowdies will come along with him.
I mean, they're under the Rays umbrella. That's
right. So I mean, if I'm going to build a stadium in Tampa, I want to have as much, many events as possible to put it in there. So the USL, I'm sure, would welcome a new stadium, whether it be a baseball stadium or whatever, to play in Tampa. I would imagine. Would that be part of the deal?
It would make sense from an economical standpoint. I don't know. One of the things in USL and the championship, there are teams that do play in baseball stadiums. I mean, the Rowdies Alliance Stadium is a baseball stadium, but it has been fitted that it's full-time soccer. There are teams in USL championship that have, they sod the infield for home games, and so that I'm sure they're all trying to get to the point where they're able to have soccer specific stadiums. That's the fancy term for it. But, I could see the Rowdies playing in the ballpark with the Rays just from that standpoint. And obviously your attendance could be whatever it is based on that. But where the Rowdies come in here, where Stu comes in, is at some point here in the near future, they will target teams to become part of this Division One D1 league in USL, and there are certain parameters that you have to have to be under US soccer to be a top division. First and foremost, when you take the money out of it, you got to have a 15,000 seat stadium. So there are markets in this league, like Louisville is a very big popular team in USL Championship, and they have a gorgeous stadium they recently built a few years back that does not seat 15,000. They could fit that in a hurry, and they would probably be an easy team to try and get going in the D1. When it comes to Tampa Bay, that's going to take a little bit of work. You got a stadium issue, so that's where Rowdies and our good buddy Stu fit in. Where do you want to go with this? That's the question a lot of franchises are going to face.
Well, listen, Dano, thanks for jumping on with us. Good luck at USL. Keep us posted. And, this is a local group with local teams here, so we want to support it as much as possible.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the website right now, Dan, and I see the Dallas Trinity in the Super League.
Yes, that's the women's league here. And there are 8 teams in there, and they're hoping to grow that as well. There is an NWSL, not related to the USL Super League. The Orlando Pride, for instance, that was Alex Morgan's team, and I think they won the championship last year in that league. So that's separate, but there's a lot of comeuppance, I guess, if you will, and a lot of chances to compete. Right now, the U.S. Open Cup just started last night, which is the all leagues title. Like last night, a team from Sarasota played FC Naples. At some point, the Rowdies come into this tournament. Then the MLS teams come into this tournament, and it's a chance for a USL championship team to beat MLS teams. A few years ago, Sacramento, who's in the USL championship, actually played in the final against Orlando City, came up short. So
Oh, wow.
So in the USL sense, if you're a fan of a USL
That's a huge deal.
yeah, the Open Cup's a big deal for USL. So, but this is all going in a crazy forward direction. It's happening fast, and I got in at the right time. It's fun.
That's very cool. And they play at the Cotton Bowl down here, too, which, of course, is a historic stadium. Or they're going to, it looks like.
Oh, I forgot to mention that my bosses would be very mad. The Oakland Roots of the championship have their home opener this Saturday at the Oakland Coliseum.
Oh, my God. I thought they blew that place up.
Well, it might, but because those fans are crazy. But they've already sold. They're getting close to 25,000.
Oh my God! How about
the Raiders didn't sell that many?
They might have 30,000. They might get 30,000 for this thing,
shit.
And that's going to be
insane.
Yeah, that's good for them too. That's really cool. So
well, see, the Oakland fans have something to cheer about. There we go.
Well, it's a fan base that's born out of heartbreak. So
poor folks.
Us against the world definitely fits for sure. But that's gonna be a crazy house Saturday night for the Roots.
Wow.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right, Dano. Thanks, partner. Appreciate you jumping on.
All right, guys. Be good.
Great, Dan Lucas. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We talk a little Lightning, going to talk a little hockey. So stay with us. Quick break. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, you're going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show. It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES. Hey, JP here for my personal concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. Yeah, he's been on the show for the last couple of years, but this is kind of a new deal, and only a limited amount of you can get involved with this personal concierge service. And what I love about it, you can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. And Chris emphasizes a healthy lifestyle to help prevent illness. But when I do need assistance, he's always available. From nutrition guidance to supplement recommendations and workout advice, his expertise is a game changer. Plus, as a medical provider for the National Guard, he stays up to date on the latest health trends and practices, steering clear of the outdated conventional medicine that often relies on unnecessary prescriptions. And the best part, Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Visit PAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself. Take charge of your personal health with PAMMC.com. Hey guys, February's birthstone is amethyst, a stunning purple gem that symbolizes peace, protection, tranquility, and sincerity. Celebrate her birthday or your 6th and 17th wedding anniversaries with an unforgettable amethyst gift. And of course, for over 40 years, the Golden Diamond Source has been Tampa Bay's most trusted name in fine jewelry. We only sell natural diamonds. If it's real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't get a fake. The Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program will help you learn about the 4 C's, what style, shape, and color works best for you and your unique style. Folks, it's the best customer service. They make it so easy for you, and they're not going to push you into something that you cannot afford. 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Also, you can turn your old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. With gold prices soaring, there's no better time to trade up. So get that old jewelry and bring it on in. You know where, the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Overton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
It's hard to even.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Here's we roll on this Wednesday, brought to you by On-Site Construction. Yes, On-Site Construction. We have a new, yes, Tim. We have a new sponsor, and Jason Faett is the president. He is here as we go to our 2-shot. There's your camera over there. Jason, say hello to all the people there. There's Jason right there. So, and he is a huge hockey fan. So we're going to talk some Lightning hockey here this morning. Jason, now get up on that microphone.
I'm here.
You could pull it up. You could pull it up right there. It's nice and adjustable.
Right.
See that?
Okay.
Good there.
Perfect.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. You're a huge hockey fan.
I am. I've played hockey my whole life.
Where'd you grow up?
Rochester, New York.
Rochester, New York. They have a few more rinks up there than they do here.
Yeah, there's more rinks, but they're open less.
They're open. It's hard to get ice time up there
Yeah.
too, as well, right? Impossible here. And you coach your kids too?
Yeah, I'm a dad in the fans who coaches my kids at home. I support their coaches, but I'm having a good time.
Yeah. What's it like being a hockey dad these days?
It's everything I ever wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I'm living up every moment. I'm embracing the drives, the times, sitting in the rink, doing all that, kind of living through.
It's a lot.
Them right now. It's beautiful.
It's a lot, but your parents did it for you, so you pass it on, right?
I'm kind of replicating that.
Yeah. How old are your kids?
8 and 6.
So they're just getting into it. They love it.
Yeah, the 6-year-old just got into a rec league over there in Oldsmar, and my 8-year-old plays for the Wild right now at Wesley Chapel.
That's awesome. So we got a lot of dads out here, and I know they can definitely relate to coaching their kids. I did it, and hockey's a whole different breed, though. I mean, it's I love the culture of hockey.
Yep.
I obviously we cover all sports here, but I love dealing with the hockey players.
Yep.
They're just so respectful, down to earth, even the superstars.
Yep.
For the most part.
I'm buying into the culture, and that's the way I want to raise them up through that. Those kids, the locker room, the traveling, the whole 9 yards with the team, coach.
Yeah. Now, are you a Lightning fan?
I am a Lightning fan. I'm a fan of John Cooper.
Yeah.
I like the way he manages his team, and his style.
Yeah.
And, I like how he can go up against adversity.
Yeah.
Usually comes out on top.
Well, I'm watching, since the new guys came in, Bjorkstrand and Yanni, the team has struggled, just to be honest. I think Cooper's trying to figure out which lines they fit best on. I think you can see incrementally they're getting better. They've won their last couple of games, but still not playing the way they did in February. What do you notice of the news? What do you think Cooper's thinking right now as far as the lines and stuff?
I don't know if they're I don't know if they are, in his eyes, if they're rebuilding.
Yeah.
From the last couple of years. Usually when you hit the top like that, you'll go through a rebuild phase.
Yeah, they really haven't.
I don't know. He may, through some strategic shuffling, he may have not hit rock bottom there and had to rebuild. So
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what his strategy is there, but he's going to find it.
Yeah.
He'll shift guys around. I mean, he's a statistician taker.
Yeah.
So he'll come out on top.
Yeah, that's what I love about Coop. He just, he's not I guess I'd say he's not a traditional coach in the fact that he didn't play the game for a lot at the NHL level. And I think in maybe 20 years ago, it was tough for coaches to break in, but I think there's a new respect. And I think he brought that. Because he's the longest tenured coach. He's never won the Jack Adams Award. That's the best coach, which is a joke. But I think he's the best coach in the game.
Yeah, a lot of hockey players, if they, they think that their next step is to be a coach, and it's like in my industry being a contractor.
Yeah.
If you swing a hammer for 30, 40 years, doesn't mean your next step is to own a business.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. A lot of those players to become coaches, coach on emotion, where Cooper is more strategic and calculating.
Yeah.
I think that he uses that to his benefit.
That was a great transition. That was a professional broadcast transition there. We went from hockey to your business, which we want to talk about. So well done. I didn't even have to do it. You did it for me. I appreciate it. So let's talk a little bit about your business, On-Site Construction, and welcome aboard as one of our new sponsors. We really appreciate that. The fans listening, we got hundreds of comments here today, and they appreciate all our sponsors for supporting the show. So thank you. And talk to me. I've talked to a lot of homeowners that are still struggling with the hurricane. What from a contractor standpoint, what are these homeowners dealing with the hurricane? And I know there's a lot of insurance regulations, elevations, things going on. What's happening?
There's a lot of they're facing FEMA. They're facing permits. A lot of these permits are spiking plans from an architect. So everybody's got their own backup. Architects are backed up. If it's structural, it goes to an engineer. They're backed up. The permitting office is backed up, and everybody wants to start tomorrow.
Right.
So it's just, getting out in front of that, explaining the process, doing what we can do when we can do it. But yeah, across the board, a lot of the houses are still vacant. I could drive up and down 19 from Tierra Verde, north, and you'll see the majority of those beachfront businesses are still vacant. You can go down West Shore Boulevard, and some of those cuts in there, they're still vacant. So they're still hashing out insurance. They're still hashing out insurance, and it's going to go on probably for another year and a half.
Good God.
Yep.
Good God. So if somebody's looking to hire a construction crew like you to do something, what's the process right now?
Well, what will happen in my situation, if you contacted us, you'd find us through the internet, website to my office. My office will give me your number. I call you up and kind of get an idea of what the situation is on the phone, see if it's something that's in my wheelhouse, something I can help you with. And then I'll come out personally, bring my tape, clipboard, go through the scope of work, make sure I understand it. And based on 20 years of doing major renovations, additions, and custom builds and stuff like that, I'm gonna draw up a conceptual budget right there in front of you, go over the numbers, and see if we can meet somewhere on a price. But most importantly is I'm going to identify the scope of work, and I'm going to show you where your money's going.
Awesome. Get that microphone right in front of your face there. You can move it over. Perfect. And we were talking about this earlier about, there's different type of contractors. You specialize in doing these renovations, and it's different than building from scratch. I know you do both. When you hire somebody has 20 years of experience doing those renovations, why is that better? Why is it different?
Well, in the housing boom a few years ago, everybody became a builder. So that's easy when you scrape the lot and you do everything in layers and get your inspections. That's, but additions, when you're tying into an existing house, existing structure, major renovations, when I'm moving a kitchen across the house, or custom remodels, you have to have the time and grade. You got to have the experience, and you have to have the people that surround you. And those people that can pull that off are going to only surround, the contractor that has credibility. And you build credibility by being in business, for a set amount of time.
And you run into certain things that, especially in the renovations, because it's not from the ground up, that maybe other less experienced people haven't run into before, and having that experience makes a difference.
Yeah,
right?
Everyone starts somewhere. So I pick up jobs that were half done because the contractor hit the road. 9 times out of 10, they misbid it. They just didn't, they don't have the experience to see that far ahead. And the customer will get hit with change orders or whatnot, after the fact. That's why with me, I'm straight up front. I put a pen to paper and I build that budget and I show you where your numbers are going. And we go into it knowing that all the T's are crossed, I's are dotted.
Now, in the process, somebody may look at their home, they want to renovate, they want to expand it, and maybe they don't have the vision. You can come look at it and say, this is what is possible. This is what, we can get by in permitting and everything else. So you can kind of give them an idea. So people are thinking about it. They can just call you up and you can come over and look at their existing, their lot, their house, and say, this is what's possible. We could put a second story on, we could go out the back. You can kind of help them with that vision, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'll come on out and I'm going to check your setbacks and make sure you have the space to build.
Yep.
And then we're going to talk about your existing house and how we're going to tie in, et cetera, and the size. And then we're going to come up with a hypothetical budget right out the gate, because you need 2 things. You need the space to build it and you need the budget to build it. So I'm going to knock those out first. Then when we go under contract, I'll bring you in the design phase where I bring in my architect and designer, and they can design from the floor plan all the way down to couches and wall hangings and what color light.
Oh, nice.
So it doesn't, I could take it from a minimal design approach to full turnkey.
All right. So how do they get in touch with you? The website is On-Site Construction. That's ONSITE constructionfl.com. OnSiteConstructionFL.com. 813-892-9009. 813-892-9009 if you want to give them a call, and I'll put all that out on the social media today so they can get it. So anything else you want to tell the folks about your business?
Been in business 20 years, veteran owned, and I'm located.
Thank you for your service.
Yep, thank you.
What service are you in? Marine Corps. Awesome. Well, Jason, thanks for coming in. We really appreciate you being a sponsor of the program, and we look forward to working with you. Once again, the website is onsiteconstructionfl.com. And go Bolts. Are we winning a cup this year?
We hope.
We hope. It's up to Cooper. We'll get her done. Jason, thanks for coming in. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side and finish up with your comments. All you knuckleheads out there, hundreds of comments today. So we'll get to a few of them when we come back. Stay with us.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted #3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
So many of our Tampa Bay neighbors are finding out the hard way from Hurricane Helene that homeowners insurance does not cover flood damage. You must have flood insurance. It's a separate policy. Immediately call Italiano Insurance at 813-877-7799, and they will shop around to find the best policy before rates go up. Lock it in. Over 60% are underinsured in Florida, or you're not getting your discounts that you're entitled to. So do an insurance checkup at Italiano, and they could save you thousands of dollars. Italiano will make sure you're with a highly rated insurer, so there are no surprises in your time of need. Our hearts go out to all our neighbors devastated by Helene. These are the times we're proud to protect all the pieces of your life. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Are you looking for an honest AC and plumbing company? I mean, that's like trying to find a humble Saints fan, right? Well, try my friends at Third Generation AC and Plumbing Services. Been in business since 1995 here locally, and listen to what one of their customers said. Quote, the gentleman providing the service was exceptional, on time, knowledgeable, professional, and experienced. He was efficient, cleaned up behind himself, and did the work expeditiously. He not only repaired a sink, he repaired our toilet that was constantly running. We have used this company several times. They are awesome. Says it all, folks. Testimonials really say it all. Call 813-961-8024 for honest, fast service. 813-961-8024 or thirdgenerationplumbing.com. We also do AC.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCar Tim. That guy over there saying goodbye to our latest guest is one JP Peterson. He is live from the Jeeves Law Group studios in Tampa, Florida. I am at the Dallas studios here in the Jeeves Law Group Dallas studios. How about that? There you go.
How about that? Let's do that.
Yeah. Yes, man. Was that Jason? That was Jason,
yeah,
right?
Jason. Yeah, Jason Faett. Super nice guy. My friend Todd Wiseman is former D1 athlete at Florida State University, longtime buddy. He's part of their advertising department and or representative, and just great dudes. And I wanted to bring him on, and you guys may have questions about if you're thinking about doing a renovation or you've got to rebuild from the hurricane. I know people are still looking for guys, and he can help you out. He's available. He's got a lot of great teams that are working out there right now and rebuilding homes. So if you need help, you're still looking for a contractor, onsiteconstructionfl.com, onsiteconstructionfl.com, and I'll put it up on our website and all our socials later on today. So we welcome them in as a new sponsor, and might as well also welcome in Riveters. Riveters is a great sports bar restaurant right over by Ray J, and yes, next to 2001 Odyssey, the spaceship right there. It's a great location for if you're going to Rays games this year and you're looking for great food. I'm going to tell you, they make everything fresh. Everything. I've eaten over there a couple times now. Had a ribeye sandwich. Like, it's real ribeye meat. It's not like crappy other meat. They make everything fresh. Like when they do their chicken fingers, it's not like Cisco frozen stuff, freezer stuff. They cut the chicken and hand batter it themselves. It's just everything is fresh. Burgers are made fresh, nothing frozen. The food is fantastic. They don't even make a lot of money on the food. Obviously, they make money on the drinks, but drinks are reasonable, not, $14 martinis and stuff like that. It's a very casual atmosphere. Love that place. Great place to watch games. So if you're looking for the, upscale $14 craft beer, frou sports bar, this is not it. This is for the blue collar people, the fun people that want to go out and watch games, have great food, and not have to spend $1,000 to do it. So Riveters, really excited about them. On-site construction coming on. We got another sponsor as well coming on. So thank you guys out there, because we have grown by leaps and bounds over the past few months. And our views are going through the roof. Everybody's going to podcasting now, so we appreciate you guys more than ever. All the folks that comment here, which we're going to get to their comments, and yeah, business is good.
What's our great slogan, JP, that we're about to adopt officially that you came up with? Was it real talk, real sports, no suits,
no bullshit? Yeah, no suits. Right.
I don't think I can put that on a business card though. No. I like that because it's real talk. We're not corporate media. Real fans, which we're going to get to you guys right now, and no suits. We don't have, oh, you can't say that. Oh, you can't say that. Yeah. No, don't talk bad about Stu. You can't say bad things about Stu. It's just, part of the corporate agenda that you've gotten, for years and years and years, enabling bad owners to do what they do. We don't do that here. We've been in it. Yeah. Do we get dinged on it? Yeah, we do. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep it the people's voice. And, I've been doing this a long time, and I know that's what you want. My mentor, Chris Thomas, was the same exact way. I was talking to some folks over at Riveters about that the other day, and his legacy lives on in this show. Absolutely. We're not afraid to speak truth to power, and we can do it because of our great sponsors that support us. So we appreciate you guys, and you guys, the listeners, the viewers, obviously. So thank you. All right, let's get to the comments. Bucs basement. Oh, we already read that, Mr. Downer. Rick says Tim has easy show prep. 20 minutes of mute, not live. 60 minutes of Stu talk, and 10 minutes of smart ass comment. Easiest job in the world. Hey, look, I put a lot more into this than you guys think I do.
Rick called him out.
Yeah, he does every day.
Tim Ham firing off the PIC comment of the day, or maybe PC comment of the day, or PIC.
What was it?
Your Kennedy joke.
Oh, we're going way back in the comments. Okay.
Christopher Cole said CIA tried to take out Trump. You damn right.
PIC is politically incorrect. That's probably
politically incorrect. Yes. Yeah. No offense. Does Bucs basement ever have one positive thing to say about the Bucs?
That's a great question, Sergio. we ask ourselves that every day.
The Richie Floyd interview coming up March 27th. Council meeting will be the big debate whether to approve Trop repairs. Council may push for settlement. I think they will. I'll get Richie Floyd on. He's been on before, so I'll get him on, or one of the city councilmen. So we'll get him on. Hernando says Joe Malloy has actually talked to Stu, though. No price discussed. Yeah, that was in the story yesterday in the Times. We already knew that. We already told you that. The Sarasota Herald Tribune still comes out every day. Some days it's good and some days it sucks. I didn't know that. So the Times is like the only paper that only prints like twice a week. Yeah, we deserve better. Sergio Biltre says, what's there to be positive about, bud? I want the Bucs to win titles. I'm not a fan of mediocrity, which is what the team is now. I want more than trash division titles. Wow. Well, listen, he's kind of right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better to win the division than not, but we're barely winning the division. Look, I'm on record as saying I thought the team last year should have won a hell of a lot more than 10 games and gone further. That offense is too good. I think the defense is holding them back, and the defensive scheme.
Making changes, though, JP.
Yep.
Improving the defense. Right. We got ball hawks.
We got Mike Caldwell back at middle linebackers coach. That's good. Stu right and ethical. Hilarious. Yeah, that's never happening. Lonnie Wilkins said, JP, did you forget the NFL and MLB ended racism and saved the black community after putting slogans in the end zones on helmets and on banners in stadiums and ballparks? Forgot about that, bro. Totally forgot.
Yeah. Racism's dead.
That virtue signaling is we really did a lot.
JP, so real quick about racism. No, this isn't about racism. So one of my all-time favorite movies in the whole world might be one that you're familiar with, in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yes.
Great Audrey Hepburn, George Papard.
Yes.
So my 23-year-old son is a huge fan of old movies like me. He got that from me because he was raised watching those, right? And that's one of his favorite movies, but he hadn't seen it in a long time. He's also old school in the fact that he watches movies on a 13-inch color TV with a built-in VHS inside of it. He likes to go retro.
Wow.
He was so excited yesterday when he found Breakfast at Tiffany's on VHS at the thrift store. I mean, I'm talking, he was giddy. Came home, showed it to me. He was watching it last night with his girlfriend, and he came and he goes, Dad, were we just extremely racist in the 60s, or what the crap was happening? And I'm like, and I'm trying to remember in my head, like, I don't remember like anything. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, Mickey Rooney's character, the Asian landlord, the guy, and he had the buck teeth and the slant eyes, and he was running around making fun of Japanese people all day. I was like, yeah, that wasn't racist in the 60s, but I wouldn't do that now.
Yeah, that's just the history's not good. The history's not good. We got better, and that's the way it's supposed to work. And
still my favorite movie. I love that.
Yeah. Do you go back and look at some of the old stuff and what we used to do on TV? Even like SNL, they went back and said
they had to apologize about crap.
Lonnie Wilkins, but then of course we went completely overboard of political correctness. Ridiculous. Right. And the virtue signaling these days is just so stupid. Some of the things that people think make a difference. You're not making a difference. You just look stupid doing it. You just really do. Lonnie Wilkins says, shout out to Rays for sending fans salute to service $20 tickets 2 weeks after they dropped and charged people hundreds of dollars. They never mentioned they were doing this ticket program. Shocking development. And that's what they're doing right now with opening day. They're going to keep the prices as high as possible. And as they get closer, they'll move them down and they'll move the tickets. Or maybe they won't. Maybe he wants to see empty seats because they priced them out at $300 so he can go say, oh, look, nobody showed up in Tampa either. And then we'll just say, no, you're playing the game like you always play the game, trying to win this false narrative. And there will be plenty of media that go along with you and not do any due diligence at all and point out that you're trying to sell what should be $30 seats for $330. There's details about
minor league ballpark.
Yeah,
where people should be enjoying themselves.
Yep. Stu never intended on keeping the Rays in St. Pete or in Tampa. He's wanted to move the team for years. But again, he can't do that. He can't unilaterally move the team, and he doesn't have the support of the other owners to do it, so they're not going anywhere. Lonnie says, I'm a baseball loyalist, and I love the team, and it's getting to a point where I'm just pissed off, and Stu made his bed, and now he's got to sleep in it. I'm tired of being jerked around. Yeah. If you missed the beginning of the show, I made an impassioned plea that this change of ownership needs to happen now. Major League Baseball needs to happen, make it happen now. We're done with this ridiculousness. Lonnie says, implying saying Rays are sold and going to Tampa and rebranding the Stingray logo they use on the caps, it would be such a PR success. Absolutely. And
that was all Stu, right? That took away the Devil Rays.
Yep.
Moniker and went just to Rays.
Yeah. And did the little starburst.
Yeah. What is the star? What is that? A ray of light or something? I have no idea what that is.
It's sun rays. It's like the sun rays.
Come on.
Yeah. B says, pay attention to Manfred wording. If he starts to use the phrase Central Florida region, that means Orlando. Yes. Because he said Tampa Bay region. He's not mentioned Central Florida. He said Tampa Bay. They're not leaving the market.
They ain't effing leaving.
Rick says, I heard Topkins say he thinks most people don't care what happens with the stadium as long as it gets done. Clueless. Get out from under Stu's desk and check reality. Wow, Rick. That's wow. What I heard him do the interview yesterday with T-Kraz. See, and I can mention T-Kraz's name. That's like some of these people are like, oh, we can't say another show's name. And he had Topkin on. Topkin said something that pissed me off, and I'm trying to remember what it was. But yeah, he did say, people just want it done. I think he's right, but I think he ignores the fact that 80% of the Rays fans want it in Tampa. Yeah. I mean, that's just a reality.
Well, only the ones that live in St. Pete want it in St. Pete, right? Yeah. I mean, that's
Well, no, if you actually polled, and there have been polls done of the electorate, the League of Women Voters did it, and once they educated the people on the deal
and asked the question, like, okay, you're going to have to spend this much money of public money, 80% were against it. 80%. So it's not even a popular idea in Pinellas County.
Yeah.
B says, JP, you're not getting invited on Stu's yacht anymore. Yeah, but I got friends with yachts that I actually like, and they like me. Kenneth McClary says, unfortunately, I think your plea to Stu, the ass munch Rays. Wow. We'll definitely go on deaf ears. He would carry this fight just to spite the people of Tampa Bay. Of course he would. That's why I'm saying it's in Major League Baseball's field. What's that? It's in their glove.
Ball's in their court.
Well, the ball's on the mound, whatever those stupid.
They're up to bat.
They're up to bat.
They're at the plate.
Okay. And they need to swing hard and hit somebody in the head. But yeah, I mean, just they can make it happen. Ball. They can make it happen. They're already playing hardball when you talk about threatening his expansion money, but that won't happen for a couple of years. So you got to do something more. And I know you can, baseball. But also with the public, we need to put the pressure on. We need to put the pressure on Stu. And on social media, wherever you can do it. Signs at the game, whatever. Support the team, not the owner. Right? That's what we want to do. Thomas Casper said, still don't get how I got Killer Rays opener seats for $32. I don't either. How the hell did you get them for $32, bro? Did you buy them on the Rays website, or did you buy them on the secondary market? Sergio says, in light we trust, Bucs basement. And that's true. He's earned it. Jonathan Torres says, got to not show up to the stadium until he's gone. We can't keep funding the ATM for Stu. Yeah, Jonathan, I hear you, buddy, but then he has the card that he could play is like, see, they don't show up in Tampa either. And then other owners will see this and they'll say, well, maybe we shouldn't stay in the Tampa Bay.
And they won't have the context that you do locally here.
Right. So unfortunately, Jonathan, I get where you're coming from, but at Steinbrenner Field, we got to show up and we got to, the ticket prices will come down. I hope. But
Cowboys fans have been terrified for years that if they didn't show up at games, Jerry Jones would move the team to Little Rock. Think that's ever going to happen?
No.
That was a legit news story 25 years ago. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I think I understand what you're saying, Jonathan, but I think we got to hold our nose and do it, just to support the team. It's like I always used to do with child support and all that stuff is like, you're not giving it to the wife, you're giving it to the children. It's to make sure that the children are taken care of. So, yeah.
Yeah, support the hundreds and hundreds of other people that work for the Rays organization that depend on their paychecks to feed their families and the players and all that. Don't think of it as giving it to Stu.
William Madden says, JP, you are 100% right, but will DAE who broadcast the games get on board for Stu to sell? Keep up the great work. Yeah, I mean, T-Kraz is talking about him selling. I don't know what the knuckleheads in the morning are doing, but because they've been enabling, and so is the entire station, been enabling Stu forever. That's one of the reasons I was fired. I was told to back off Stu. And then, a few months later, I'm gone, even though I'm getting ratings bonus checks. So you figure it out. Lonnie Wilkins says, Steinbrenner is nice, but the Rays selling it as an intimate, premium, cozy, yet charging a premium for journeyman players, much like realtors do with buzzwords on overpriced real estate. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's what an ethical regular owner would do. They would not double and triple the prices. They might raise them up a few percentage points to get to the revenue where they need to be. It doesn't need to be double and triple. You averaged 16,000 last year. You're going to average 11,000 here. So you can do the math. You don't have to double the ticket price. We still haven't sold out opening day yet. No, but it's coming. Hopefully. Yes, I know Brody has some new videos coming up. Elijah Barrera says, it's like you said, JP, the Rays' current leadership is tone deaf. Silverman saying, take a deep breath is so out of touch. How can one not be upset? They've embarrassed the Tampa Bay area. Absolutely. And B says, Richie Floyd wants a settlement, probably be some horse trading. And that's how I see that. That's what's happening. That's what I believe is happening, is that I don't think they want to fix the trop because it's such an unknown. Yeah. And once you get in there and really see what it is, and then who's going to show up on a half repaired trop
that the city doesn't want to do. They don't want to deal with Stu anymore. It needs to move on. The whole damn thing just needs to move on. And again, they're going to have to pay $7 million just in insurance a year at the Trop to insure the roof. And then you're going to knock it down. It makes zero economic sense. To a city and a county government that doesn't want the Rays to deal with the ownership group anymore, and a constituency that doesn't want to spend the money on the team. So, Hunter Magicomo says April 18th game on Friday against Boston ran me $450 total for 2 tickets. Brought them pretty early though. Yeah, hold on, wait, guys. They got to come down. All right. Anything else we want to get to? I thought there's so many comments. I love you guys, and I appreciate. I wish we could get to everyone. Try to get everybody in at least once. Last Waltz Media says, I need our own sell movement like the Oakland fans. Got to show up with navy blue shirts and just say sell. Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Good idea. Crowdsourcing. There you go.
Yes, I saw that. Topkin broke his kneecap. Get well, Mark. That was unfortunate. Yikes. That hurts too. Maybe he can sue Stu. Probably not. All right. Thank you, Tim. Our thanks to our guest today, Dan Lucas, who joined us from United Soccer League. Councilman Joe Citro, who says Ebor 2029. He's got the inside scoop. Hope you're right, Joe. I think you are. Hopefully 2028. We get 2028? We'll see. Tim, great job. And our thanks to Jason Faett. OnSiteConstructionFL.com. OnSiteConstructionFL.com is the website. Have a great day, everybody. We will be back tomorrow live from the Valspar Thursday and Friday. And I guess Tim's not coming.
I guess I'm not.
Guess you're not. All right.
F you, F you, F you, and F you. Peace out. I'm going to go have a Guinness.